Welcome to 5C, which is simplifying powers of I. Let's get started with some notes on this. So we already reviewed that I is equivalent to the square root of -1. So anytime you see an I in here, think of it as the square root of -1. So if I were to take I and I were to square it, so square of the square root of -1, so if we squared that, what would it equal? Well, square and square root, opposites, so it just equals -1. So I squared equals -1. Very important for 5C. It's a very, very important thing. So, first example is to simplify I to the 10th. So it's all about powers of I. And what you're trying to do is see how many I squareds you can divide out of I to the 10th. So how many I squareds can you get out of 10? Divide out of 10, you get 5. What does I squared equal? This equals -1. So now we have -1 to the 5th power. It's just -1. So that is our answer. Example 2. So in 5C, this is what it's all about, is simplifying powers of I. So simplify I to the 24th. So how many I squareds can you divide out of 24? 12. And I squared, that's -1. And -1 to the 12th is +1. Last example I'm going to do in 5C, another simplifying. So it's going to be I to the 35th power. So I to the 35th, how many I squareds can I divide out of 35? And you're going to be like, that doesn't divide evenly. What's the closest thing we can divide? And that is 17. 2 times 17 is 34. We need 35. So what you do is you multiply by one more I. So now we look at I squared, that's -1, to the 17th times I. And continue this a little further. -1 to the 17th is -1 times I. -1 times I is -I. So sometimes you have to have remainder, you have an I that's left out there, and this is how you would address that. Moving on to the next part, we have adding and subtracting complex numbers. So we're going to treat, since it is around Halloween, treat the I's as variables. So treat them just like variables. So like terms, meaning. So we have, in first example, simplified, -4 plus 6. Those are just regular real numbers. -4 plus 6 is 2. And now we have -I plus 8I plus from here. And that is 7I. Remember, this is like a -1I. Example 2. Now we have, in parentheses, -4 plus I. This is known as the complex number. That is, this is a real number. -4 is a real number. And I is an imaginary number. Complex number is putting us together. So, anyways, when you're simplifying them, you still simplify them the same way as you just did example 1. You do -4 plus -7, -11. And you do +I, which is +1I, plus -2I. So +I plus -2I is a -I. So -11 minus I. You always write the real number first, and then the complex number, then the imaginary number. So example 3 is one that a lot of students get wrong. There's no reason to get it wrong. The thing that's confusing is this subtraction. So what I would do is make it in a addition problem. So I'm going to distribute it in this negative. So I have negative 7 plus 6i plus 5. Negative times a negative is a positive. And negative times a negative again is positive. And now I would simplify this. You can put it in parentheses if you like. If you want to put that in parentheses, you can. It does not matter. Negative 7 plus 5, negative 2, 6i plus 5i is 11i. So, come to class with any questions. It's a short one, so hopefully you all took your notes.